Welcome again. This is Brother G coming to you again with another video message, another video teaching. Illusion which blinds. It simply means lies which blinds. Let's take off the mask. So illusions are really lies. Over time, as we see magicians and they're doing illusion or moving their hand very fast, creating tricks and stuff like that, illusion has become not so evil as it was back in the day. In other words, what illusion has become, our magician, as we watch TV and certain things, it has just becomes a normal part of our society. We don't look at it in a critical way as illusions or which are lies. There is really magicians which are creating lies, meaning they are acting as if they are really making things disappear, when in actuality it's just a trick. It's just to move their hand fast or create some trap doors or whatever. And it's so interesting because we marvel at it, and it just becomes a part of our natural understanding. We don't take it for nothing anymore. The time when we take illusions or lies for something is when it happens to an direct individual, in the sense that, for example, when somebody lies to you, they are creating an illusion of doing something that they are not. So let's take it another way. Every election cycles, everywhere, in every country, those who are running for office, what they do is create an illusion by their talking points. That's really basically a lie. But those who understand that when you go into government, there's just certain things that you can do and will be able to do, because there's so much or so many bureaucracy, meaning there's so much red tape, there's so much things to go through. So a lot of the people that are running for office, they know, and some of the wise, they know that most of these talking points are just basically illusions. Really, they are lies. And so they're really trying to get people to vote for their supposedly leader. Truly, really, this message is not for the world. This is for the people who are called upon a true name, said they are alive. They have a name that they are alive and they know God. So this message is really for those people. So come out of Babylon. Don't be blinded by their illusion. Come out of Babylon and see and wake up and see the reality. Here is what the wise. Let us open up some book and open up some eyes and see if we can make people see. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. So he's writing now a Proverbs. These are, as they say, proverbs, meaning these verbs are, we are for these verbs. So then Solomon really is saying, we are for these action words. See, proverbs. We are for this. We agree with these saying. So now we're going to look what the son of David, king of Israel, tell the simple. Like me are the simple. Not too eloquent, but we're simple, but we understand the thing. So we're going to look upon where the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. This is not one little man now in corner according to the text. He's a king of Israel. So let's read. Wisdom and instruction is to perceive the words of understanding. Let's reread this again. To know wisdom and instruction is to perceive the words of understanding. So therefore, there's something that comes before wisdom. Understanding comes before wisdom. Because you gotta have wisdom if you don't have understanding first over a matter. You have to have understanding in a mechanics of how you do. You fix a car, or how you can fix a brake. You have to have understanding. And when you get the understanding of how to do it now, there are certain method now you can You can institute how to get the work done easy. That's what you call wisdom. Is to perceive the words to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity. Now what this man I talk about? If you start of understanding, this might be a little bit complicated the way they construct the thing, and that bring a lot of confusion how it's constructed. And so basically what we are read is to have knowledge, understanding, and therefore wisdom cometh, so you can then judicate of justice and judgment and equity. Not like how them say equity is today. We understand what equity mean, and we know how to put equity in its rightful context. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A whole heap of people have not read this. Solomon is saying to give subtlety to the simple. In other words, you have to be subtle in certain things to get certain things. So that means a lot of us now read the real Solomon. A lot of us listen to people interpretation of Solomon. Solomon not was just only wise, but not Solomon beat up in people. So read the text. Solomon beat up his own people. Let me not get into that. But a lot of us have not read the text. We have only hear interpretation of Solomon. And while this man was knowledgeable and wise and all these things, on the same hand, him used the other hand to beat his own people into subjection. Read the Proverbs. Read them. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. Now listening, because certain people understand this, that's why they will keep you away from certain people who are wise. Because if you're simple like me, and you listen to the supposedly wise, and you listen to their words, you will start increase in learning. So they know this for a fact, not truth, it's a fact, that if certain young people is privileged or have the opportunity to hear certain things that would heal their mind, heal their soul, they know this, man, that they will increase in learning. So it behooves them to have a system or have people to kind of block you from hearing the truth, hearing the facts, so that you can increase in learning. So listen to what the wise man Proverbs is saying. We're going somewhere on this. To understand a proverbs, we agree with these verbs, and the interpretation of these proverbs, the words of the wise, including Solomon here, and their dark sayings. We're going somewhere, and their dark saying. I have realized a lot of lawyer language are really dark sayings. They are dark for a reason, meaning they are midnight, they are blacked out, they are for a reason. And it's to hide the fact, not the truth, because the truth remains the same, to hide the facts. So just like Solomon here and his proverbs is four verbs, he uses his wisdom. This is evident by the text in the Old Testament. He used his wisdom to subjugate his own people, to build an incredible edifice for them to worship his God in. You hear what I say? Revelation upon top of revelation. If you read the text without being biased, with biased interpretation, read the text with understanding, Solomon with his proverbs, with his wisdoms, with his understanding, subjugate his own people and let them build the most incredible edifice of whatever it is, so that they will worship his God, not their God, his God. That don't take away from his wisdom, because here he's telling me as the simple, if you listen to the wise, you will also learn. And so I understand now, so the system, but we have to jump hurdles and start jumping hurdles now. It is created in such a way that you can't really hear the wise, because it is blocked by dark sayings. What was the topic? The illusion of the blind. The dark saying blind us. Let's run. And when they had gone through the isle unto Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew whose name was Bar Judas. I said Bar Judas, I should have said Bar Jesus. And in this context of how it is written, you could see that this certain sorcerer, and they use his name, he is the anti-Jesus or the anti-Christ, because what he's coming now with is sorcerers of an evil kind. But don't worry, even certain Christian, I'm going to show you in this text, there are certain Christian who use the illusion too to win people. So yeah, you have, I guess I could put it in this reference, you have evil miracle and you have good miracle, meaning the evil miracle is to eat the people them flesh, and the good miracle is to bring the people them in a green pastures. So the evil and the good are play with their powers, with their own illusion. I'm going to show you, say, even in the text, they might use illusion too. So it might be, I could say it might be they're using it for good, but it's also an illusion. I'm going to show you. So this man, this Bar Jesus, was with the deputy of the country, Sergius Paulus, a prudent man, he's very wise, who called for Barnabas and Saul and desired to hear the word of God, or the word of truth. And so what Bar Jesus was now doing, as we're going to continue to read, he was blocking Paul and Barnabas and Saul, and was blocking them from Sergius to hear the word of truth, which he would need it. He's a wise man too. So you're going to see evil miracle a work against good miracle, if you want to put it in that context. But I know the truth of the thing. Remember what Solomon says. You remember what the wise say. Him say, to understand, all of his preface was to understand the dark sayings of the wise. And what is written in Acts is also, there are also dark sayings that confuse us. And I'm here now, I got reveal, say, some of them, nothing don't go so. Not is in our dialect. Nothing no go so. So we having illusions working against illusions, and we are caught in the middle, not knowing the truth. But Solomon already tell us already. So may I use that as a preface to show you something that this is not true. Nothing no go so. Elymas, the sorcerer, for so his name by interpretation was called, he was a Eliamas, or whatever it is, the sorcerer, withstood them, seeking to turn away the deputy from the faith. Now the deputy from the faith, let's break it down. The faith is just actually the truth. And who's the best people them are the best person to have the faith of truth, or have the faith because they can help more people. That's basically because they are in power, and they have power and authority. So basically, if them have the faith, they're gonna help a lot of people, and they're gonna see to it that a lot of people get aid and help and services. So these are the best people to have faith, not people when I have nothing. Anyways, so the term sorcerer here is really an illusion, not somebody who is really creating miracle. It's someone who in interpretation context here is using, because he's in authority and in high places, as what we say. He's writing words of deception. That's sorcery. That's illusion. He's writing words and laws of deception like a lawyer. Even if them they say Elemias as a lawyer, it would have make more contextual sense. It would have make sense. But when we see sorcerer, we think is actually a witch or a whatever. No, he's just creating illusion by words, saying lies. That's who he is, a sorcerer. He's an illusionist. He's a magician. That's the meaning. And so he was trying to block Paul and Barnabas from bringing the faith as true. But now, we're going to reveal something here. Then Saul, who also is called Paul, filled with the Holy Ghost, he set his eyes on the sorcerer, and set him eyes upon it, and said, "O full of all subtlety." Remember, Solomon said, you must learn subtlety. So obviously, Bar Jesus learned subtlety. Or we can say in the negative sense. Okay, I could agree with that. And all mischief, thou child of the devil, thou enemy of all righteousness, wilt thou not cease from perverting the right ways of the Lord? Will you not stop? Will you not stop those who use subtlety and sorcery to blind the people them and create miracles out of thin air and make people believe it? You're using subtlety in the wrong way, man. You are just a wolf in fancy three-piece suit. Many of them are. And you're using it and perverting the right way. Tell the people them the truth. There is no such things. But let's read. And now, behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thee. That is Bar Jesus. And thou shalt be blind, not seeing the sun for a season. And immediately there fell on him a mist and a darkness, and he went about seeking some to lead him. This here, folks, is an illusion that is written to confuse us. Paul did not, by reason, have this power to blind Bar Jesus. No such thing. This is sorcery that is written to convince us of a miracle that would almost never happen. If Paul had this power to do this particular thing, why when he was in Antioch, why was he when he was in Ephesus and they attacked him, why didn't he call down this same power that he had here to call down blindness upon these people? The reason why they do these things is for an illusion to win us to a particular faith. But I'm here saying, whether you believe, but with all understanding I have, this in this context is not true. It is not a true text. It is not true. This is an illusion. This is sorcery. Even if someone is say sorcery of the good kind, but it has turned into evil, where we are believing these things, that we have the power to call down blindness on a particular person. That's not how blindness go. Blindness goes through leaders who speak lies, who leaders and lawyers who write lies, who write conflicting laws. This is how blindness happens. Blindness happens through laws, to repeated lies, and so it blinds us to the truth and the fact. That is what blind people, not calling down a certain power and blinding people, but is laws, codes and statutes and preaching and teaching of lies that blinds people. Then the deputy Sergius Paulus, when he saw what was done, believed, being astonished at the doctrine of the Lord. Now, the way this is written, it is written in such a way that any rational person would read it, that these people, Paul, would have power to call down blindness and other miracles and other powerful miracles. This is not so, people. That particular verse is an illusion. And this, as they say this is anticlimactic. Because then it says, the deputy, when he saw what was done, and he astonished at the doctrine of the Lord, and then it's finished, and it went on into another example in the book of Acts. This is anticlimactic. Why was Paul doing all these miracles for the deputy? What did the deputy do now, since he have now learned and was astonished of the doctrine? You see, this is anticlimactic. So you see, this is why they don't want certain of us to listen to the wise. The reason is very simple. You listen to the wise, you become almost as wise as the wise, are even wiser. And to keep you from becoming wiser than the wise, because there's certain things in you. I'm using the same text. Jesus said, God is in us. Whether they want to say God is in amongst the people or God is in you particularly, God is in you. The hope of glory. So I'm using the text, and I'm using it just like Solomon told us to use it, just like Bar Judas used it, just like the scribes wrote the text for us and say that Paul did this incredible miracle. I want to plainly say that verse is not so. And there it might be some interpretation would make it more palatable and more stronger and more resourceful and more reality based, but no such thing. So that particular part of the verse where Paul called on this incredible power, it's an illusion which blinds. No such thing. That's not how we are blinded. Someone can call power and just blind you. That's sorcery. Even if it is coming and trying to build up the foundation of Paul that is written. No such thing. People are blinded by lies.